And I went and I sat in my room and I kind of just broke down. Like I didn't really understand how to comprehend the situation, how to understand anything that was going on.
I'm prepping myself for this weekend because I'm working a 13-hour shift on the 4th of July, which is going to be miserable.
Oh.
So, yeah, pray for me.
It'll only be miserable if you keep saying it's gonna be miserable.
Okay,
it'll
but
still
there's
be
no
pretty
way-
bad.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it could be less miserable if you don't dwell on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. And I also had this idea because the sound system where I work at Tropical Smoothie is completely down. So it's a very small store and it's very quiet and awkward.
Oh, that's so awkward.
Yeah, like the sound just doesn't work. And it is like awkward. If you go in the front, these customers are just standing there in silence. So I'm going to bring in my speaker and I'm just going to start playing some stuff and hope that there's not a problem with it. I don't know. I'm doing it though because it's just, I don't see why not.
You're going to flex your music taste?
Yeah. I'll play some Mac Miller. I'll play a whole lot of stuff. You can play a lot of stuff for 13 hours. So
13 hours?
I'll start playing the podcast. No, I'm kidding. I won't.
Play our podcast intro song, which you guys heard the last episode. We finally got it on there. Sounds cool. Working on the video aspect of it. Don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Probably have to pay someone to do it, but yeah.
To get the video?
Yeah, because I don't know how to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, like
I mean, I could learn, but I don't really have time.
There's so many people that do video edits all the time.
Fiverr.
What
you know
is
what Fiverr is?
No.
You don't know what Fiverr is?
No.
No, I don't. It's just a thing where you pay like artists to do stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
like,
there's so many people that do video edits. We've actually had a video edit for this podcast.
Stop. Well, guys, we have a very special guest. He is a high school friend, old high school friend, our new co-host, newest addition to the show, a professional sports bettor, sports enthusiast, especially like hockey and stuff, student of FIU in Miami. Please welcome to the table, Thomas Bilello, a.k.a. Tommy B. Let's go. Tommy B, 757.
We're back.
How you doing?
Good. I'm glad you called me a special guest. I haven't recorded 5 episodes already. But
Yeah. Special guest, very special guest.
here we are.
Yeah, it's going to be all about Thomas this episode.
Oh, boy.
So we're putting him in the hot seat.
Hot seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. Nervous a little bit, actually.
Really?
Really? Like
Yeah.
actually?
A little bit. A little bit.
Right.
I don't know. I'm ready to, talk about. It's weird thinking about talking about only yourself. I don't know.
I feel that. How about speaking of hot seat? Would you ever like to go on Hot Ones?
Oh my God.
What is that?
You don't know what Hot Ones is?
No.
I feel like every time we say, I could pull up so many clips of us saying,
We'll do a compilation. Of
yeah,
it.
it's just you saying that exact phrase in the exact tone.
What's
What
Floyd
is it?
Mayweather?
What is that?
Okay, stop. I got flamed
I
by
saw
that.
that.
Like, did
Okay.
you see my comment? I was like, I'm so humiliated.
No, I
It's
didn't.
not
see it.
even humiliating, but
No,
it's
I got
funny.
flamed
You got-
by
who?
for that. My boyfriend.
Okay, that whatever.
Oh man.
I heard my parents watching the episode downstairs, and then I just heard.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. All right. Hot Ones. They take like celebrities and they interview celebrities, but during the interview they'll have chicken wings lined up and they'll progressively get like hotter sauces on them. So they'll eat them, and then like towards the end, these guys are just dying from. I would love to do it though.
Wait, so why? Like, what's the point?
It's just a cool
just a
interview.
cool interview.
It's a cool format.
Is it Chris Evans, right?
I don't even know his name.
I think that's his name.
Oh, so you just eat the chicken wings? as
Yeah.
it goes?
But his questions are like really, really deep, and people always say he's one of the best interviewers
So
that there is
is
out
it
there.
if you don't like want to answer a question, you eat a chicken wing?
No, you
you
just
just keep
eat
going.
them,
It's like an added
because they'll eat
layer.
them with you. It's just you
It's
should watch
kind
an
of
episode.
yeah, it's kind of like
I've done it with so many celebrities.
it's like
A lot
Jeff
of celebrities.
Wittick's haircut. That's a different format. We got what's the short dude? Short comedian. I hate to acknowledge him by that, but
Big Nick.
no, the short comedian.
I have no
the
idea.
the short guy.
I don't know who you're talking
The short guy does the ice bath interviews. Dude, the only short comedian there is. Like, if you think short celebrity, that's who you think of.
Danny DeVito.
No.
That's who
Short.
I think
Yeah.
of.
Short comedian. It's not showing up. There we go. This guy, Kevin Hart.
Oh my God, Michael.
I couldn't think of his name, but yeah, he has like an ice bath one where you go in an ice bath and then like, there's an interview.
I have seen that.
Yeah, those are the only ones I've seen. There's probably so many more, but like there's some like eating ones like food trucks.
Hmm.
The Hot Ones is definitely the coolest.
Hot Ones is
though.
the best interview
Hot
show.
Ones is the best
sure.
interview show.
For sure.
So Thomas,
So Michael.
what do you do on your free time?
No, so I work at a local country club. Big country club guy. Not really, but yeah, I play a lot of video games, watch a lot of sports. I mean,
Video games? You still play
yeah.
video games? Or
Honestly, I
just
do. But I play sports games. Like I don't play
Yeah.
with people and stuff. It's just a lot of the time I'll work 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. and I'll come home and I'll be really tired and
It's
I just
fun.
kind of want to chill, or I'll work noon to 8:30, 9 o'clock and I want to come home and I'm not going to go out after that because I'm tired. So just play some video games or turn on the TV, watch some sports. I watch every sporting event. Like 3 weeks from today, the Olympics starts. For 2 weeks in a row, I'm just going to be watching the Olympics nonstop, 24/7.
Is there a sport that you don't like or you don't watch?
No,
Really?
I watch every sport. If there's a sport on TV, I'll watch it. College sports, football, basketball,
Interesting.
hockey.
How about all the niche sports? Like, do you watch bowling?
I do. I'm not gonna.
What?
Do you
It was
watch
crazy.
gymnastics?
I have watched gymnastics. Like I'm not actively.
But I mean, yeah,
seeking
there's
gymnastics.
so many
So
sports
I mean,
to watch.
the same thing with bowling. Like I'm not actively gonna go watch
Yeah.
bowling. But the other day, it was probably less than 2 weeks ago. There was a football game on, or not a football game. There's a basketball game on, and they went to a commercial. So I was just scrolling through the channels, and I saw professional bowling, and I turned it on, and this guy was about to bowl a perfect game. So I was like, I have to watch this, and he hit 3 strikes in a row to bowl the perfect game. I have the video saved
Is
on
that
my
hard for a professional bowler to bowl a perfect game?
phone. I think they said it was like the 27th or 28th one televised before.
So it's
So I mean,
pretty
it's
hard.
it's rare. Like it's really rare, but it's not.
It's not like hole in one rare,
Yeah,
but
Not
it's not easy.
no, not easy.
Gotcha. And you suck at bowling, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty terrible at bowling.
Is there any sports that you actively do?
Just golf now. I golf a lot. I played baseball my whole life growing up. So
Oh yeah, you have played baseball.
yeah, baseball
Were you
was
good?
So
All right.
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna sound like the uncle at Thanksgiving, but my going into my sophomore year of high school, I was playing in a summer league, and I was catching, and it's just like a freak play. But this kid threw the ball home, and I jumped up to catch it, and this kid was coming down third. He was like 6'2", 220, an enormous kid. Ran into me full speed, broke my shoulder, my scapula, my jaw.
Ooh.
I think I broke like a rib or two, and I was out for like 8.5 months, and I never really recovered from that.
Wow.
So I was pretty good. I mean, I still was good at baseball. I was batted 400 my sophomore year. Senior year, I didn't really do that well, but yeah, I was all right until that happened.
Dang. I feel like that's like injuries like that. Did that take a mental toll on you?
Oh, definitely, because I mean, I tried to rush back into it because obviously you don't want to be sitting out and missing a lot of time. All I wanted to do was just go back and play, and so every time I would try and go and play, I couldn't even throw a ball anymore, and
And then it just feels bad.
yeah, you just
And then
feel
you
like
get
shit about
FOMO.
yourself. Yeah.
So do you think because of that you kind of like grew as a person because you couldn't do baseball anymore, so you like expanded?
Yeah. Did you go into any other hobbies because of that?
I mean, I don't know. Around that time, obviously, I started doing like physical therapy and stuff to like regain everything, and I got into, like working out and lifting and stuff, and I know that helped me get into good shape. Like that injury got me in better shape as a physically, but then I kind of fell out of that, and it was on and off. I don't really know because I was struggling with it mentally a lot. Like I don't think people understand unless you've been through like kind of a similar situation how much it really does affect you, because you go from doing something every single day and like that's your dreams, that's your goals, and then it's kind of just gone like that. I had the opportunity to go play D3 or JUCO college baseball like at a really small school, but I looked at myself and I was like, do I want to waste 4 years kind of hating my life at a small school, or do I want to go experience,
Yeah. Where do people in D3, D2, what do they when you go to a sport in college, what's usually the plan after? Is it to go professional, or is
That's
it
the
just
thing. I mean, did I want to go play at a small school with 1,000 people in West Virginia and then kind of be stuck with no degree that means anything and be screwed for life and just say that I played baseball for 4 more years? I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. Obviously, you'll get your degree, but
And what are you getting your degree in right now?
I'm doing economics, so my major's economics, and then I started my pre-law certificate last semester, so I'll finish that up either this semester or next semester. And then the plan's to go to law school,
Law school,
do
cool.
contract law, and then become a sports agent. So I obviously still love sports, so I'm combining. I never got the chance to keep playing sports, but I can combine, you know, economics and sports and do something
Are you
with
gonna
that.
go straight into law school, take a break, or you don't know
I mean,
yet?
hopefully I'll go straight into it. I don't really plan on taking a gap year, maybe a gap semester, like one semester off, kind of, recuperate, gather myself, and understand, you know, my plans and my goals and stuff like that. So
And are you a school guy? Do you like school? Like not like the social aspect of it, but literal school.
I love learning. I mean, I've talked about it on this podcast. I watch so many videos about just random topics where I learn stuff. I mean, I enjoy my thing is I have to be super into a topic to want to, learn about it. I can't show up to my SLS class, which is like your first year experience class at 8 a.m. on a Monday because I just didn't care about it. You know what I mean? It was a class where they would go in there and they would teach you like note taking skills. And I'm 19 years old, bro. I'm a freshman in college. If you don't know how to take notes, then why are you here? I couldn't go to a class like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my class, like statistics and stuff, I'll go to statistics class and I'll actively engage in it and I'll talk to philosophy. I'll talk to the teachers and I'll get involved in conversation and stuff like that. Yeah. I do
That's,
enjoy some of the schooling aspect.
and like growing up, were you a good kid in school?
So I I remember I was always like grade wise was always on top of things. I was really good with grades, but when I was a really young kid, I think first or second grade, they made me go like anger management classes on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. They would take me out of class and they would be like, "All right, you got to go to the what is it, the school counselor and take anger management classes." Because I guess I was such an angry little kid. I was never a troublemaker. I was never a kid that got in trouble. I didn't ever have a detention in middle school or high school. Never got a referral. Never got suspended. Um, but yeah, I think I was a little bit of a bully in fourth and fifth grade, just because I think I've been the same exact height I am right now since I was in fifth grade.
Oh my
but
gosh,
yeah.
what the heck?
I stopped growing after like fifth grade. It pissed me off.
So, like, what do you think your younger self would think of you now?
Wow. I guess it's such a cliche answer, but I think that I would be really surprised with how my life had went because obviously, like I said, my entire goal growing up was to be, a professional athlete, and I don't think that academics and really focusing on a career and personal growth instead of athletics was ever in the plan. So I think I would be surprised at that. But I think at the same time, I would be proud of myself and how far I've come and the relationships I've made and the things I've done in my life because I really have had opportunities and stuff that I've taken advantage of, and I feel like I'm at a good place for only being 20 years old.
Yeah.
So you said you wanted to be a professional athlete. Did
Yeah.
Did you say that, or were you taking steps to do so, or was that just like a
Yeah,
dream kind of?
It's actually funny because my mom was cleaning out the garage probably a couple months ago, and she came in my room and she handed me this little book that we all made at the end of second grade, and it had like a recap of the year and all the units we did. So there's pictures of us during the ancient Egypt unit, we did like in a little archaeological dig, and during the economics unit, like we made a little restaurant in the classroom. But it had a little profile about yourself, and it said, "I want to be a professional baseball player." So even when I was in second grade, that was always the goal.
That's cool.
Yeah, man.
So how about now? What's your dream kind of?
Yeah.
What's your goal? Or what's not end goal because there's never an end goal, but big goal.
I think my big thing now is I just want people to like know my name. I don't care about being famous, but I want to be remembered for something. I don't kind of want to just go with the wind and then when I die, like that's it. I want to leave some sort of legacy. I want to have, some sort of impact on the world positively, obviously, but then that would be the big thing for me.
That's interesting because I had a question a few episodes ago and I was saying, would you rather have like the money
Yeah.
or the
I would
the
prefer
name?
money. Right. Fame, here's the thing.
And you said the money.
I said the money because the fame thing is I don't want my life to be intruded on by people, and I don't want to be famous in the sense that I'm a celebrity where
With, like,
I'm going out in
paparazzi.
paparazzi and my
Yeah.
life is being ruined. But if I'm like, I want to have a legacy. I think legacy and fame are different. I want to have an imprint on the world.
Yeah, I guess.
I
Oh,
would
I mean,
always
it
take
gets
money.
depends what scene you're in. Because
See,
like you can
Yeah.
be, there's people that are famous and don't get
if you're
bombarded.
talking about,
I'm not talking about like social.
no, no,
I'm
I
not
know.
talking specifically like social media fame.
Because
I'm
my
talking
thing
about
is,
like textbooks and stuff.
yeah, I'm gonna say fame here only because I've never my entire life seen a future where I wasn't rich. I don't know, it's weird. I've never envisioned myself in any other position than being like financially successful
Mm-hmm.
by any means necessary. It's gonna happen, and I've always, literally since I was a little kid, manifested that, believed in that, and been 100% true to myself in that. No matter what happens, I will make it financially, no questions.
Mm-hmm. Are you into manifesting stuff, like speaking into things in existence,
It's
or are you more of a don't say it? It's not going to happen.
I'm
if you don't
definitely
say
say
it?
my I in if you're asking me to compare them, I'm definitely more of a manifest, say it's gonna happen guy. But I don't know how true speaking something into existence is. You know what I mean?
I know like writing things, there's actually a statistic that you're like I
Your
don't-
goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like
It's a
there's
big
like a
percentage,
significant percent
that
Yeah.
you are more likely to succeed at
'Cause
if
it's
you
like
write them
a-
regularly.
you're
Really?
holding yourself accountable kind
Yeah,
of thing.
and even if it
Yeah.
isn't real, like this, why wouldn't you do it?
Right. Yeah. No, I definitely think that I've been that guy to speak my goals. I don't really ever claim to be a humble person. Like I flaunt my successes, and I think that's a good thing. I think that it's important to, portray yourself as who you are and what you've done. And if people don't like that, then honestly, I say fuck them. If I'm successful in something and you're not happy that I'm successful in something, then there's no reason for you to be in my life anyway.
So like kind of on the other side of that, do you have any regrets?
I It's a tough question because obviously hindsight is 2020, and you can look back on a lot of things in life and say, I could have done this different, or I could have, been here and my life would be completely different. But I don't think I have any regrets in the sense that I would actually wish I didn't do something, because I can always find a positive from any situation and
Mhm.
use that to grow personally, use that to further myself in some aspect. Even if at the time it seems like the worst thing in the world, you can always look back and be like, well, it happened for a reason, which is so cliche, but it's true.
It kind of reminds me of what we were talking about in that other episode with the butterfly
Yeah,
effect, and how there's like a million different paths you could take if you do
Definitely.
like one thing.
Yeah, you can always like connect the dots, looking back, but never forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I-
makes
I-
sense.
Definitely. Regrets though, I don't know. I guess there's a couple of spots in my life where if I wish, because I think after college I definitely become a nicer person, where like I'm more accepting of other people, and I'm more open to other people and stuff. I kind of wish I was like that earlier, because I did get kind of a bad reputation in high school. I'm sure you know I was an asshole guy. Like
Yeah. So why do you think that is? Because I
Um,
never like had a problem with you, but a lot of people did.
I mean, I was very open about political beliefs in high school, and I was conservative, more conservative guy in a school that was obviously very, very liberal. And that's fine. Like I understand that differentiating political opinions can cause, conflict, especially at a younger age like that, when you're 16 or 17 and you're so vocal about what you believe. And I was obviously on the baseball team, and the baseball team kind of had a reputation as just being assholes, just because, that's how it was. And I kind of put myself into all these groups that all had their own individual stereotypes of being, jerks to people, being bad people. I don't really know how to use another word besides that. And I was in so many different groups like that people just saw me and they're like, fuck this guy, which is weird, because I feel like a lot of people that did give me a chance and people that had the opportunity to talk to me and, we had conversations, didn't have a single problem with me. But
Yeah,
there's
and
always,
most of the people that were talking shit about you were people that didn't know you.
right.
Yeah. So how do you think you've changed from like high school to now, if anything?
Yeah, my senior year of high school. Actually, I'll just talk about this tattoo, because this tattoo is what changed my life forever. So that's April 21st, 2019, Easter Sunday, and my family was down from New York, and I got a call from my cousin, because my sisters, I have two sisters, Brooke, who's 18, about to be 19, and then Caroline, who is 15, and they were going down to the park. And I got a call from my cousin. I was like, I need you to come down here now. Like, Caroline's on the pool, on the ground in like a pool of blood, bleeding everywhere. And I was like, I mean, that's a joke. Like, why would you say something like that? And 5 minutes later, ambulances, fire trucks, police cars just flying past my house. And I run outside, and the last thing I remember seeing is my sister on a stretcher going in an ambulance. And I went and I sat in my room, and I kind of just broke down. Like, I didn't really understand how to comprehend the situation, how to understand anything that was going on. And I went to the hospital that night, and, you know, I looked at my sister hooked up to machines, blood coming out of her eyes, nose, ears, literally every hole in her body. And the doctor said she had a 13% chance to live. And I don't know, it changed my life forever. Like, you don't really understand how important people are and your family are until you're close to losing somebody. And I remember for 2 weeks straight going hospital to school to baseball practice to the hospital, just 2 weeks straight. And you know, it's a miracle because she did end up making a full recovery. Like, she's completely fine now. But that day changed literally every single thing about me. And I'm open with people. Like, I care about people. I tell people I love them. I tell people I care about them. You know, that was what changed everything for me. And that was my senior year of high school. So that was
Do you want to talk about like what happened, like during that, like what happened?
I don't know the full story. All I know is that she kind of like fell out of the car somehow and hit her head on the concrete.
Is this your older sister? Or
No,
younger
it's Caroline.
sister?
She's
Okay.
She must have been. She was 13 at the time, I guess. So yeah, I
So-
wasn't there when it happened. That's the thing. If you want to talk about one regret I have in life, it's probably that I didn't react to that quicker because I thought my cousin was joking with me. I actually thought it was a joke. I thought he was trying to like prank me.
Yeah.
Or I wish that I would have just been there to make sure that didn't happen. But
So how does that affect the way you go about like your relationships and stuff, all your social life?
I'm just so open with people because I was closed off. I was an asshole. I obviously had this reputation of being an asshole, and I've tried to change that with everybody in my life, even my family. I'm so close with my family now. Like, me and Brooke had a terrible relationship. There was a point in time where me and Brooke's relationship was so bad that even though our rooms were right next to each other, we didn't speak for 6 months. I would see her in the hall. We wouldn't even speak to each other. Like, that's how bad it was. And then that day happened, and me and Brooke will hang out together. Like, we'll just chill, and our relationship has changed so much. But, I mean, I went to Miami, and I saw that as an opportunity to be who I wanted to be and be a different person because I didn't have to carry that stereotype or that image with me down there. And I mean, I have so many close friends in Miami. Like, I love everybody down there. It's just awesome because I've had the opportunity to really start the new life that I don't think I had a chance to here.
Yeah. So you say you wanted to start a new reputation and stuff when you go down to Miami, but obviously you've seen some people still hold you to a certain stereotype
Yeah.
on the internet.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
That's interesting. I mean, it's the same kind of story. Obviously, yep, I'm a white guy. I'm in a frat. I get this bad reputation solely based on that because, I mean, Greek life has a really bad reputation in the United States, which, I mean, I could say is justified. I'm not going to say it's not justified in at least some aspects. But, I mean, I feel like I've used my position in Greek life to do good things. My very first semester, I ran in a pageant for AKO. I raised over like $2,000 in 2 weeks for domestic violence awareness. My fraternity has raised, probably with all the events we've done, close to $20,000 for children's hospitals. Like, I think people look at Greek life and they see party, frat guy, you know, they have all these negative connotations, but they don't see the positives that we do. It's like, when did the chess team raise $20,000 for, you know, children's hospitals? They didn't.
Chess team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what organizations on your campus are out there actively doing good for philanthropic causes? I mean, I get it. You see the parties and stuff, and you don't really see what goes on internally. You don't see the things that we do that are actually benefiting the community, but they're there. You just have to look at them.
So like going into Greek life after, like, obviously everyone sees Greek life and frats and they think of like hazing and drinking, partying. How are you able to like go into that knowing all that and associating with a frat and then being in one?
So my thing is ZBT, my fraternity, completely non-hazing, non-pledging. It's not allowed. There is none, absolutely zero. And I'll say that like wholeheartedly. We did not have any pledging, any hazing, none, zero. It's not accepted. And the thing about that is too, you never have to do anything. If you want to rush any fraternity, like you want to rush Sigma Chi, you want to rush Beta, like you might experience some sort of like hazing or pledging, but you don't have to go through with that. And if at any point you're at a place where you don't like it, you can just leave. Like, you can. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, and you obviously may think that's probably not true, but it is. Because it's illegal to haze. It's a federal crime. You'll go to jail for it. So if at some point you have these pressures, or you have people like forcing you to do something, or trying to force you to do something, you just leave. I mean, I don't know.
Do you really think that's true? Because people, I feel like if someone were to leave, I'd imagine like everyone's pressuring you, and if you're like the only person that wants to leave, and then you try to leave, you don't get. I don't assume that you get physically forced to stay, but there's definitely like a pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I can't speak on it because I don't know. I wouldn't know that situation. I wouldn't know, the details of something like that. But I think, at least my experience in Greek life with my entire fraternity, I haven't met anybody at FIU who would do something like that. I think the vast majority of people in Greek life are people that are good people, that they're there to form real relationships. They're there to encourage you to grow as a person and do things like that, benefit your community, go out there, do things. And I feel like that's probably similar across a lot of places. But
have you ever been in the position where you're at a party or something and you see a brother do something bad and you had to like react to it or anyway?
No, because like I said, we wouldn't take somebody who had character issues like that. Like, you do have to have good character because we have a full rush week where you get to know the brothers, you get to have conversations with people, and you have to know everybody. And if there was a question about your integrity or your character, or if you were going to do something like that, you wouldn't be in our fraternity in the first place. And if I did see somebody do that, and I'm sure 99% of people will say the same thing, you would get fucked up. You would get your ass beat. And if that happened at a party, you're dropped instantly, and you're probably reported to the police. End of story. At least in my fraternity.
On the other side of things, you like Steve will do it. Steve will do it,
Yeah.
guy.
Big Steve will do guy is the definition.
When did you find out about him, and why do you like him so much?
When I found out about Nelk, probably like 2 years ago. I think that was even before Steve was in Nelk, but he's always been like this internet presence, just doing crazy shit. Like, I don't know, he chugged like 4 Locos. He would tape 4 40s to each hand and then drink them, and shotgun 24 White Claws in 10 minutes or something like that. Like, he's always just, and obviously that stuff is crazy. That's not something that normal people are going to do, but it's just this, I guess it's shock factor, which is so cool because he's doing stuff obviously that teenage guys or college guys do. Like, we do that at college. We sit there and we drink and we, obviously we gamble and shit like that. But he's like the mecca of frat guy. I don't really know what to say. He really is. He's like the embodiment of frat.
So would you say like you admire him?
I would say that he is my favorite internet celebrity. Because, I don't know if I want to be Steve will do it. He's so wild and stuff, but like, he's pretty fucking awesome.
That's cool. Have you tried their new drink?
I haven't. It's not available in Virginia.
Yeah, apparently it's very hard to find.
Yeah.
What is it?
They released a seltzer.
Seltzer, yeah.
And, obviously people aren't going to trash their seltzer in their videos, but all the reviews on it are like really good. It's not in like a skinny can like this. Not a skinny can. It's in like a beer can. It's called Happy Dad. And apparently it doesn't have like a strong seltzer flavor. You know what I mean? Like White Claw tastes like seltzer. Apparently this doesn't. It's not like really bubbly or fizzly, something like that.
Fizzy?
It's pretty fizzy. Yeah,
Fizzly.
fizzly. No, it's pretty smooth. It's like a smooth
Gotcha.
seltzer. I do want to try it though.
I wonder if they're ever going to open like physical places branded by
Like
Nelk.
a Happy Dad store?
No,
or like a Nelk
bar.
store?
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be
They're
great.
growing so fast. It's actually crazy. Like, their brand is just so big now.
Yeah,
you can't go on a college campus and be like, "Do you know who Nelk is?" And nobody's gonna say no.
Yeah, everyone knows Nelk.
Yeah.
Like their synergy map is like the map of all their branding and stuff of income and whatever their business model is. It's huge, and like there's a potential for it to go even broader. Like these two guys, Colin Samir, they break down like internet characters and their business like in the creator economy, and they opened up all the possibilities for them, like opening a bar and then like possibly having those drinks at the bar, and there's just a whole world for it other than just the ad revenue which they aren't getting. Because
Oh yeah, they get no ad revenue.
Because they get
YouTube
demonetized.
demonetizes all their videos.
But yeah, they pull lots of views.
A lot of views. Yeah. Do merch drops and everything. Like their market is huge, but it's also untapped at the same. They did world tour, a literal world tour.
Doing what?
They would just go to, they were in Amsterdam, they were in Barcelona, Berlin, Rome, like filming YouTube videos, meeting fans and stuff. And then they went to South America and they were in like, they did this video. They went deep into the Amazon rainforest. They were meeting like tribes and shit. Like, I don't know. It's crazy the things that they do.
So this is not your first podcast on.
It's not my first podcast. It's my first group podcast because we briefly mentioned it. Because I love to talk, obviously. Like, you know, I do. I enjoy speaking. I think I have a pretty good voice for, I guess, radio or podcasting. So there was one day when I just bought a microphone on Amazon and I sat down and I posted on my Instagram story. I was like, what do you guys want to hear me talk about? And people responded with, you responded with a couple questions. And so I just kind of sat there and in one take, I ran through a bunch of questions. I gave my opinions on things and I posted it. And I actually got pretty good feedback. You know, there was obviously probably not as big as this one. Not as big
Yeah,
as
I watched it. I listened to it.
You know, people were texting me. They're like, yo, you're pretty good at this. I enjoy listening to you speak. You should get like guests on and stuff. And then I just kind of faded out with it because I didn't have, you know, the time or the effort to put into it. But I'm going to start up another one when I move back down to Miami. So
About what?
sports podcast.
That's
Probably
cool.
going to be, I mean, obviously there will be some other conversations mixed in there. But I think that's,
Solo?
no, I'm actually going to do it with one of my buddies, Drake.
Drake?
Drake, yeah, his
Like
name's Drake.
the Drake? Like OVO Drake?
Yeah, Aubrey Graham. I'm going to do it with my buddy Drake. I mean, I think sports is my area of expertise. Like, obviously, as you said, I watch pretty much everything all the time, so I know a lot about it. I understand
Are you into fighting?
MMA. I've recently got into, like, MMA and boxing and stuff, but it's so primal. It's crazy. Like, there's something about it that it just, like, so exhilarating watching people beat
'cause
each other. It's
literally
weird,
like,
right?
It's
Modern
modern
day
day gladiators.
gladiators,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're literally fighting, and then they could get messed up so badly. Like,
It's
have
crazy.
you seen the Usman fight? The leg?
Yes, I have, and that's
Was
it.
that
Did I
that
show you
video
that?
You showed me where his leg.
Did I
like,
show- yeah.
Yeah, that was so gross.
It's brutal, but there's something about it. Like, you can't stop watching it, right?
Yeah,
I've watched
yeah.
that clip
I've
50
watched it.
times.
Every time I like think about it, I show
no,
whoever's
it's
in the
so
room.
scary.
It's
It's so scary.
Yeah, if you don't
Insane.
know what we're talking about, these two MMA fighters, one guy, he kicked the other guy's shin, and then he like his shin broke forward.
Yeah.
So like if this is his shin, it broke like this, and then he didn't know. So when he was going to plant his foot down to stand again on 2 feet, it just
Collapse.
Yeah,
Collapsed.
he stood in the middle of his broken shin.
dude, imagine just the pain for like how you're gonna feel that pain forever.
Your
And,
adrenaline.
dude, they're gonna have to put that back into place.
That
He
was
I mean,
so
obviously had
gross.
emergency surgery, I'm sure, but like, it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, the knockouts though are like you see spinning heel kicks to the face and like knees to the chin. And
Would you
shit.
ever do MMA?
I would try it, but it would have to be against somebody as unexperienced as me. Even if I trained for a couple months, even if I trained for a year, like I would want it to be against somebody who hadn't had any sort of. My debut would have to be against somebody going with their debut also.
Yeah.
But I would try it. Just
You
to see
trying
what it's like.
boxing?
I am trying boxing.
Have you ever been hit in the face?
Yeah, I have been.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not really fun.
It's not. And at the same time, like when you're in a fight, your adrenaline is rushing so much, and like you get hit, and it just makes you want to just go even harder.
Yeah, but that's bad. That's bad in boxing
You run out of stamina.
or in fighting in general. You don't fight with your emotions. You're not supposed to, because then your technique goes off, and then you just start swinging.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, I'm talking about like a street fight.
Yeah. I'm talking about in your upcoming boxing match.
I'm excited for my upcoming boxing match. I'm very excited.
Boxing match October 2nd
October 2nd in Miami. It's gonna happen.
in the Hard Rock Stadium.
Imagine we rented out Hard Rock Stadium.
I wonder how much it is
sold
to rent out.
Sold it out to watch me fight one of my
Yeah,
fraternity
it's
brothers.
just like a small like only ringside,
Oh, that'd
and
be
the whole
hilarious.
stadium's just empty.
That'd be crazy.
How many people are gonna show up? You think?
I don't know. Haven't advertised anything yet. I'm sure my entire fraternity will be there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have a lot of like interests in like so many different things like sports, Greek life, you know, it could go on. But do you have any role models in like specifically?
Yeah, I would say that my dad and my grandpa are probably my two biggest role models. My grandpa was actually signed with the Brooklyn Dodgers to be a pitcher, and then broke his collarbone and never actually did end up pitching in the major leagues. And then I don't know, my dad has just always been there for me through literally every single thing in my life. He was in the Coast Guard. He's told me all these Coast Guard stories, and you know, I don't know, my family has provided me with such like a great life that I look up. Obviously, love my mom, look up to my mom so much, but my dad and my grandpa are like the two most influential figures in my life. Like I try to model myself after them and do the things that they did because they've done well for themselves.
So are you close with your family?
Very close.
Like very close? How
Very
about
close.
growing up?
Growing up, obviously, like I was never a person that was like, oh, my parents suck. Obviously, like I loved my parents always. But I wouldn't say that always had the best relationship with them just because I was growing up and I was a teenager and there's always that teenage like angst and all the bullshit that goes on with growing up. But as I've gotten older, like I moved away and I was like, dang, you know, life is way different being away from your parents. Like they do everything for me. And so, yeah, I would say now is much better than it was growing up, but there was never any sort of bad relationship.
That's good.
Yeah.
What are some of your biggest pet peeves besides the pickle one, of course?
You know what's crazy? When you told me to start taking like notes to speak about for this podcast, I almost just wrote down a list of my pet peeves because so many small things just bother me so much.
Yeah, what are some of them?
I hate when people hit their fork when they chew. Like when they take a bite of food, if you hit your fork, it
Like with your teeth?
oh my god, it's the worst. It actually
Dude, I think
just-
I do
The
that.
scrape.
it infuriates me. Like you hear it, and I'm like, your fork good? Like, does it taste good? Dylan, yeah, Dylan. Growing up, because me and Dylan have been best friends since I was in 6th grade, so almost like 8, 9, maybe 10 years. I don't know. He would always bite his fork, so he was telling me about it literally 3 or 4 days ago that he stopped biting his fork because every time he did it, I was like, "Fork tastes good, bud." So he doesn't do it anymore. Like I made him completely stop it. I don't know. See, I get bothered by just so many small things, which is weird. Probably why I went to anger management classes when I was in 2nd grade. I hate hearing like people breathe loudly when they're not like doing things. When a room is quiet, I hate noise. I just hate like noise in general.
What about like eating noises?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Eating like
no.
the stuff like that just it infuriates me.
I can't take that either.
People who walk slowly. People who drive the speed limit. Like I know it's the speed limit for a reason, but you should be going faster than that. Not egregiously
No, it's
fast.
kind
At
of
least
facts.
5.
Bro,
Like,
if
if you're
you're
not
going
going at least 5.
if
Like,
you're
I don't
going-
speed, but if you don't go at least 5.
if you're going 45 if you're going no, the worst is when you're going like 55 on the highway. and
Oh
it's a
yeah, that's the
55.
worst.
It pisses me
The
off
only
so much.
the only like justifiable place is like a neighborhood.
Yeah,
then,
you
then
should be-
sure.
you
like
should-
25 is still
See,
kind of
and
slow,
that's
but
another one
sure.
that's another one of my pet peeves, going over 25 in a neighborhood. It's just I mean, you could run me through just like so many things that are pet peeves because I don't know, there's like I said, it's situational too. Like I'll just get bothered by random stuff sometimes. I don't know.
Are you vocal with your pet peeves when they happen?
With people I know, people that I'm close to, if you do something that bothers me, like stop.
This makes me
up.
wonder if I've accidentally done any
No,
of this,
you
like
ha-
breathing
you haven't
loudly or
because-
like.
Because we're just having like a conversation right now, so obviously I'm not going to be too bothered by stuff. But like I'm sitting in a classroom and the person next to me, oh my god, smacking gum, I will tell you. If I don't, I'm like, shut up, stop. That's ridiculous. Yeah, no, smacking gum is bad. Man, I'm sure there's a lot.
Was there a
more
lot of that
reason.
in school that you hear?
You shut
Some
it
kind
No,
of
down.
gum?
in high school, yeah, especially in high school. But obviously, I like knew a lot of people in the classes, so I don't know if I've ever had an opportunity to like tell somebody to just shut up chewing gum. But
Speaking of high school, has there ever been like a teacher that you really messed with, like
yeah,
in a good way?
A couple. So Miss Pope was my economics teacher in 11th grade, and she's the reason that I chose to become an economics major. She was my advisor for my senior project. Like she was awesome. Absolutely loved Miss Pope. Like she genuinely cared about me as a person. And she was one of my favorite teachers ever. Mr. Holland, who was AP Gov teacher,
Mr. Holland's funny.
he wasn't like on the same level as Miss Pope in the fact that I could talk to him about life and stuff, but I just loved his class so much, and like I looked forward to going in there and just talking to him, because even me and him would just, have debates and talk about stuff. And then I really liked Mr. Falls' class just because he was so chill. Like,
Ooh.
I know people don't like Mr. Falls. I never.
You like Mr.
I did
Falls?
like Mr. I went to the Philippines with him, so I
hated
mean, I
Mr. Falls.
feel like I had a different experience
That
with Mr.
dude,
Falls.
I don't know, man.
I liked him. I liked Mr. Falls.
So kind of going back to when you were talking about your pet peeves and you would like call people out, would you say in general you're a pretty confrontational person, or like you aren't afraid of telling people how it is?
Yeah, I definitely would say that. I've never been afraid to share my opinion or like go at it with someone who doesn't have the same opinion as me, which obviously, like we said, in high school probably did get me into, a couple bad places at points. And now it's pretty much mainly just with sports. Like I'll go on Twitter and just, like we talked about it last episode, I'll just go on Twitter and get in arguments with people about sports just because, But yeah, confrontational, probably. But acting when confronted, 100% all the time, no questions.
How about emotionally with your feelings? Are you
I'm
connected with your feelings?
I'm very reserved. Like I don't like to put my feelings out there. Like I don't like people to know how I feel unless it starts like eating at me, because my number one thing in life is I always will put like my own personal feelings and like benefit for it. It sounds bad, but I've always been yourself first. You got to focus on yourself. Like you can't put other people's feelings and other people's, successes over yours, because otherwise you're going to leave yourself behind.
Because then you can't help others.
Right.
Like when on the plane, put your mask on before you help others.
Yeah, exactly. They say that, but my personal repeat the question. Now I just went on that little
Like,
tangent.
are you?
Oh yeah, my emotions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've always been reserved with my emotions until those emotions start like interfering with my daily life, and then I just have to let it out.
So you
You know what I
bottle
mean?
things up.
Yeah, I bottle things up, and a lot of times it turns into like petty anger. Like I said, if I hear someone chew and I'm like, shut up, or like people are being trolls or whatever, and I'm just like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like it bothers me. Small things bother me. If I released my emotions more, maybe that wouldn't happen, but I don't, and I probably won't. So
Even with your close ones, friends, significant others?
I mean, I guess it all depends on the situation. Like my friends, like we'll get mad at each other for a few minutes, a couple hours or stuff, but then just back to normal. Like I've been friends with Dylan for 9 years, and we've never gotten like a huge argument where we were just like, fuck you, I'm not talking to you anymore, ever. I just not the way I roll. Like if it gets to a point where I'm in a relationship with somebody, whether it be a friendship or like a real relationship, and I get to a point where I'm done with the person, I don't do second chances. Like I'm like, go. That's it. You get one chance, and if you fuck it up, that's it.
One chance.
One chance. No more than one. That's it. Done. I don't care. I don't have the energy to keep giving people chance after chance after chance, because I don't think people change. Like you could say that people change, but I think deep down, it was just weird because I said I've changed a lot, but I had like a emotionally traumatic experience that like formed me into a new person.
So do people change or not?
if you cheat on like that, I think in a relationship, like if you cheat on somebody and you're like, I've changed, I'll never cheat on you again, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you're like, I was a bad person and then I had, my traumatic family experience that changed who I was, and now I care about people, I think you can change in that way.
Makes sense.
I think it'd be situational, but I don't know. It sounds a little hypocritical to say that people can't change, but I did. But I think that you can change through experiences.
Yeah, like you can't change overnight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time.
And you like if you're a cheater or you're a robber or murderer or whatever, and you say, I've changed, I don't think that ever leaves you, ever. Doesn't matter how much you try.
Mm-hmm.
So you think there kind of has to be an event that like forces you to change? You can't just be like, I'm a new person, like I'm becoming better.
Like I know people wake up and they're like, I choose peace, I choose this, after being just a complete piece of shit their whole life. That doesn't happen. I don't think so.
So has there been like have you ever had any close friends, like really, I know you were close with Dylan, but have you ever had like a close friend for a long time? You said no second chances if they really mess up. Has that happened?
I don't think that's happened yet in my life. because I'm very careful with who I choose to let into my life in the first place. Like I don't really like to have you know, acquaintances, people that I'm like just friends with just because. Like I
Yeah.
always like to
I've
have
started
people
to
in
be
my
like
life
that
that will
lately.
help me at least in some aspect, like grow myself, and I'll help them grow themselves and be successful in life. So I haven't. I mean, maybe when I was younger, I'm sure it had happened at some point, but I can't recall anybody like super close with me that I would just like that's it after one time, because I haven't had that chance to. I don't even know like if that came up how it would go down, but it hasn't. So hopefully it doesn't.
So your circle is tight,
Very tight, very tight.
and
Yeah.
it's because you don't like acquaintances.
Yeah, I've always been that way. Like I've always liked to have a few really close friends than a lot of
Yeah, I feel that.
decent friends.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I guess it's something with being comfortable and being able to go to those people with anything. Like if you have a bunch of friends and you're not really close with anybody, like what are you gonna do when you're having problems and you need to talk to somebody, or what are you gonna do when something comes up and you need somebody to be there for you? Like I'm not gonna hit up somebody that I see twice a week, randomly, sporadically, to be there for me in like my most needy times.
Yeah, it makes sense. If you had $100,000 right now and you had to spend it, you can't invest it. You have to spend it on material objects or experiences. What would you spend it on?
World tour, easy. I love traveling.
Everything? $100,000.
$100,000 is going into a full world tour. Like I'm going all of Europe, all of South America, all of Asia. Like I'm hitting it. I'm hitting everything.
Can you even? I wonder what $100,000 vacation even looks like.
See, the thing is, once you get to Europe, it's cheap to travel with
Yeah,
inside
exactly.
of Europe. So
Mhm.
I just got to get from
Dude,
here.
$100,000 is a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay, $10,000. Boom. You can travel $10,000.
I have $10,000 right now to spend.
Okay, how about just material objects? Are you into material objects? Do you enjoy them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a materialistic person. Like, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing though. People always have this concept of materialism, and they're like, "Oh, it's so shameful that you care more about material possessions
Yeah.
than like, feelings." That doesn't make much sense to me, bro. Like, I feel better in a box logo. What do you want me to tell you? That's how it goes.
Speaking of box logos, real quick tangent. You see the market on those cause ones?
They're probably
Very
tanked.
low.
Are they?
I'm
Yeah.
about to buy one off my cousin for $60.
For a BOGO?
The yellow one.
Wow, bro, it's not the same as when we were in
It's
high
not
school.
the same.
It's really not.
I honestly might not even buy it anymore. I don't know.
That's
We'll
crazy.
see.
Wow, $60. Nah, that I mean.
Yeah,
I
remember in like high school, you get any box logo
12,
at
13,
least
$1,400.
$1,200.
Wow, and they're running for $60.
Okay, so $10,000. What material object you buying or objects?
And I probably just stack up my closet because like I like to wear
Clothes.
coordinated outfits and stuff. Today's not as cool.
How'd you get into that? Because I remember you weren't into that until like a little bit later in high school.
I don't really know.
Who got you into that?
I remember it was probably you at some point. Like that's what I'm trying to remember. Like I remember you talking about Supreme at some point, and then it was the week that they did their collaboration with Scarface.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so that was the very first Supreme t-shirt I ever bought, but I texted my dad because I was in class and I didn't know anything about it. I was like, "Dad, can you please try and get me this Scarface t-shirt on Supreme? It's at 11 a.m. Thursday morning, please, please, please." And it was so funny. Like he came home with like the receipt printed out on a piece of printer paper and he handed it to me. And I remember just being so excited when it came in.
Did they flip well?
I kept it. I still have it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I still have it. Scarface t-shirt, the shower t-shirt. He's in there with like the pistol held up to his temple. Great movie, by the way. Scarface is a great movie.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I think it was you. And then I remember like that happening, and I remember getting the first Supreme t-shirt. And I remember learning about reselling and buying like bots and stuff. And
You went further with it than I did.
I started following like Supreme Leaks news.
Remember
and
FSMM?
yeah, fuck school, make money, baby.
that was our saying.
That's your motto?
That was our motto.
Yep, fuck school, make money. That's so funny.
That's so funny. Wait, so do you have any other like mottos that you live
Yeah,
by?
what are some? Yeah, because like I have a list of life notes, and I only write them down if I like truly
Yeah.
live by it.
I've heard a lot of your mottos.
There's like a good 30 bullet points on here.
Wow, that's a crazy question. I don't think I was prepared for that one.
Yeah. Do you have any like sayings,
in the
like
moment,
even if it's cliche?
so
Things
funny.
that motivate you.
You know what is actually so funny? It sounds so stupid, but you really do only live once. Like, do it. Just go do whatever you want to do because you're not gonna have
I
another
thought
chance.
you
to do
believed
it.
in the egg theory.
I'm alive. I'm alive right now. I'm possessing this body. I am only positive for sure that I'm gonna live this one life. So like, I actually do say, fuck it, YOLO. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds so stupid. I can't believe I'm saying that right now.
YOLO. It's
YOLO.
because it was a meme like 10
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
sounds so dumb, but like, I don't know. You kind of embody full send. Like, fucking do it. Do it. Go.
So where are you on the spectrum between like full send, like just live a crazy life, and just filling your potential to the max?
I think, don't they go hand in hand?
No.
Like-
Full send is more like go party, go crazy. Potential is like grind so you can have make
At
a
the
mark
same
on the
time-
world.
At the same time, like, I view full send as like, yo, go after your dreams, go after your aspirations. Like, if you want to start up a business and people are telling you you're not going to be successful, like, just go do it. Try it. Full send. Like,
Yeah, I
what's
don't-
stopping you?
There's literally no success story that I know
Didn't start with a leap of faith.
and there's no failure in it. Like literally everyone has had failure.
Yeah, everybody's failed, and like, that's my thing with life right now. Like, I obviously, like, I had the baseball thing when I was like, damn, like, I failed at baseball. I felt like that was always my one chance to go do something huge with my life. But I mean, there's just so many opportunities. Like, I've always felt like I was really good at stuff, but I was never great at anything.
That's what I felt like up until like last year. I was
Yeah.
like, I've never had a thing. Like, I mean, you've had baseball. I
Mine was
never
baseball,
had a
yeah.
thing. Like that guy he does baseball. This guy does basketball. This guy is like a movie guy.
I mean,
I don't
don't you think it's a good thing though? Because it just shows you're like trying so many different things and like.
Yeah, but they're just saying I'm more afraid of the guy who practices one kick 1,000 times rather than the guy that practices 1,000 kicks one time.
Wow. I mean, it makes a lot of sense because I've just pursued so many like avenues in life. Like I told you, I started my own podcast and like I was good at it. I wasn't great at it. I did baseball and I felt like I was pretty, like, really good at it and had a chance to do something, but I was never going to be I was realistic with it. There was never a chance for me to go play in the MLB. I wasn't one of the 500 best players in the world. That's just not realistic. Like, I'm good at poker. I'm not great at it.
A professor told me last year to do more things you're good at. Like, so if you're bad at it, just stop doing it.
That's why
he said stop doing it, but I don't think you should completely stop doing it.
Like,
but he said it will find the things you're good at and like just full send that.
That's why I want to be a sports agent because I'm really good at, debating people and having conversations and stuff like that. And I'm really good at understanding sports and sports knowledge and statistics and how to get people like good contracts and stuff by using what they've done in their life. So I think sports agent's a great path for me, or, down the line, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, do it all because unfulfilled potential is scary.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because like imagine just dying and you didn't like this was your cap of what you could do in life, but you just didn't get there.
That would suck.
That
It really
that
would
sucks.
suck.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I guess you would never know.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
you
what I was
would.
thinking.
Oh, dude, speaking of you would never know, quick tangent. I was watching this thing on the simulation, right? This makes sense. So we're either there's going to be a line of people making worlds that have simulations, right? So like one day we're going to be able to make a simulation, and that simulation, each time that happens, the simulation is going to make a simulation once they get smart enough.
There's Neil
Each
deGrasse
time
Tyson, right?
they get less smarter. So we're either the first one, the first world of that line, or we're the most recent version of the simulation.
Yeah.
And we'd never know.
So it's a coin toss. So we 50-50 we're not.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw it was Neil deGrasse Tyson who said, like, it doesn't matter because you're either so far advanced that we're the last one or we're just so non-advanced that we're the first one.
Yep.
Who cares?
So, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter in the long run, but it's interesting to think about. Consumes a lot of my time and thoughts.
Yeah, so you spend a lot of time watching, like, documentaries, like informational stuff.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I've came up with this thing that, like, you know, the whole thing, you are who your friends are, like by the
Yeah,
people
you
you
surround
surround
yourself.
yourself. I've started to believe that you are also a combination of like the stuff you consume.
You know what's so
Mhm.
crazy? You know that new Bo Burnham Netflix comedy special?
No.
Okay,
I've
well,
heard of it.
yeah,
What's
it's
it?
it's like it's a lot of the sounds from it are on TikTok right now. It's like, you know, the ocean's rising, like I
I've
give
never
a
heard
Oh
of
shit.
that.
yeah.
So, but it's all from Bo Burnham's comedy special, and he does this one skit in it where he's talking about the internet and how like you just consume so much and you consume everything and you can go to any corner of the internet and there's every single thing on earth exists on the internet, and like you just become a product of every single thing that you consume. But he was like, at this point, and he's obviously saying it in like a comedic sense, but it just makes sense because the world is so digital that the real world doesn't even feel like the real world anymore, and that the real world exists digitally
Yeah.
because so many people spend the majority of their time on the internet and like living in that space rather than living out in the real world, that the digital world is more important than.
Dude, we're literally gonna live on the internet in the future. It's
But
kind of weird.
he said it so like, he obviously says it jokingly because he's a comedian, but it's
Yeah,
true. Like it
but it
holds a
is.
lot of weight.
So
like-
you agree with Michael in that you are what you consume?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why, like, I look for this in people, like what they do spend their free time doing. Like, obviously, you're gonna watch like dumb TikTok and stuff, but
yeah.
the people that take their time to like watch informational stuff and take their time to like watch like TED Talks or stuff, you can see that they're much smarter.
Bro, throw me
kind
on
of.
Jeopardy. I watch Jeopardy and like I could actually genuinely compete on this shit. I know a lot of like random trivia. You know what I mean? Like I just
Mhm.
because I watch so much stuff. Like they ask me about airport logistics. Easy. Know it all.
That's so random.
So
Yeah.
random, but like I get into like these you know, like I'll watch a video about something like, wow, that's really interesting, and then I'll just watch a bunch of videos about it, and then I'll just repeat the cycle with something else.
So, what is your favorite kind of thing to watch? What's
Um,
or what's one topic that just really is fascinating to you?
One topic. Here, I'll tell you about a channel first, or a couple channels. There's a channel called Wendover Productions. I don't know if you've heard of Wendover Productions. They do like 13, 14-minute videos, and they talk about just a bunch of random stuff like scenarios, and they talk like airport logistics, like why planes don't fly over Tibet and stuff like that. Um, I watched a bunch of videos about like crime in Asia and like bank heists in like China and South Korea and stuff, and why they happen and how they're different from the U.S. and stuff. And I don't know. I've always been into like true crime. I guess is probably one of my most interesting topics that I've watched a lot about.
So
That's
like
cool.
what other niche interests do you have that are like not things like sports or like debate or boxing stuff? Like what are some like very specific like niche things that you're just interested in or know a lot about?
Airports. It's weird. Every time I go to a new airport, like I'm really into like the design of it, the architecture of the airport.
What's your
how
favorite
big it is.
airport?
My favorite airport is probably the Tokyo airport. That the one that
Yeah.
I've been to. I really, really, really hate Atlanta. I hate it. I hate Miami's
That's the
airport.
busiest one in the world, right?
Yeah,
Atlanta.
because it's just way too big. It's not needed to be that big. I mean, it technically is because it's the most busy airport in the world, but it's just so annoying. Like it's frustrating as somebody who like commercially uses an airport. It's frustrating. What a weird thing, airports.
Airports are cool.
They're really cool, right? Like I'm saying, it's just cool to see all the different kinds of airports. Like the Charlotte airport is built really cool, but it bothered me that they didn't
Yeah,
have
it's
a
like
Dunkin'
a
Donuts like we talked
like
about
a
last
spider.
episode. Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
Miami's airport bothers me because when you get dropped off at the departures gate, the flights to Norfolk are always at D68, which is the farthest gate away from the entrance, and it takes 20 minutes to walk there.
Oh my gosh.
I like Tampa's airport a lot. I like Manila's airport. Manila's airport is cool. But yeah.
I don't remember the airport.
Santiago's airport, the one in Chile, we got off the plane and then took like a 20-minute bus ride to the terminal, which confused me. I was like, why are
Oh
we?
my gosh. What?
Yeah, I was like, how big is this airport actually? But yeah, I think airports is probably like, I don't know if I'm interested in airports in the fact like it's a niche interest, but I think they're really cool.
That's
and they're
cool.
so different all over the world.
Before we wrap things up, anything you want to say to the audience?
Um, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah,
I think
for real though.
I think that there's a lot more to me than people would think just by looking at me. I'm sure not sure that's the same about every other. It is the same about pretty much every person on earth. Everybody has their own.
Everyone and everything.
Everybody has their own individual stories. Everybody has their own experiences. Everybody has things that have shaped them into the person that they are. And I think that by looking at somebody and judging them based off, whatever stereotypes you have in your head, you're doing yourself and them a disservice. So
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot. You don't never know anything.
Mhm.
We don't know anything. Like if you really think about it, you don't know anything.
give people a chance. And you'll be surprised by the things that you encounter.
And everyone is wrong. It just matters how wrong they are. That's also something I heard recently.
That's
Yeah.
an interesting way to look
Yeah,
at it.
like everyone's wrong when you're talking about stuff. Everyone's wrong, but how wrong are you?
Yeah.
That's cool. How about to your older self? You in 5 years.
Me in 5 years.
This is a message. This is a time capsule. So Thomas, if you're watching this like tomorrow or something, skip over this part. Don't watch this for another 5 years.
Only people on the internet can watch this, and then in 5 years we'll come back and check in.
Wait, what's the date? July 1st, 2026.
This is the next time I'll see this
Yeah,
clip.
this is a
Wow.
time capsule. So skip over this, Thomas.
Hope you're doing well. Hope you graduated law school. Hopefully you found, your place in life. Hopefully you've started to do something big. Hopefully maybe you've started a family. Hopefully, you're just doing everything you can to further yourself and be successful. And most of all, I hope that you're happy.
Great. All right. Anything you want to plug?
We'll drop the Instagram again, TOMM.BIL. I would love to hear from people, and if you have any more questions about me, I would love to answer them because, I do enjoy speaking, and I enjoy, meeting new people and doing new things. But yeah, that's really it. Look out for my podcast coming in August, and that's all for now.
Yep. And we're going to be having guests once a week from now on, probably. I'm 95% sure that's going to happen. So on next Friday, you'll see a new guest. I don't know who it is yet, but we'll see. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.